back in 2016 that I was heavily involved with the Commonwealth Games. So I was the face of engaging volunteers from all around the world to come to our beautiful city to volunteer their time for our games. So that was a dream I had back then. A dream that I had burning deep inside me was I had to leave an employer of over 20 years. And that was something I didn't take lightly. And why did I have to leave an employer of over 20 years? Quite simply, is because I was a square person in a round job. So a very, very responsible job in corporate banking for one of the major banks. So why did I have to leave? I couldn't continue to do what I was doing because it didn't meet with my conscience. So here I was taking money from business owners, hand over fist, just for looking at you, just for talking to you. So my dream was burning inside me. I thought there's got to be some way that I can use over 20 years experience in the finance world to give back to businesses, clubs and associations here in Australia. From there, Costless Payment Solutions was born. So what is Costless Payment Solutions? Costless Payment Solutions is your alternative to the banks for any form of payment solution in your business, club or association. So I talk about whether it's an FPOS terminal, whether it's a direct debiting, a recurring payment solution, a payment solution on your website, or a payment solution through zero accounting software. What's the difference I provide to what the banks provide? Quite simply, when I'm talking to a client, the client can say to me, Mark, I just can't fathom a bank can charge me $20,000 for an FPOS machine per year. Just think about what $20,000 extra in your bank account would do for you over a year. It may take your family on that holiday now that you can travel. It may pay down some, I'm not an accountant, but may pay down some non-tax deductible debt. It may give you that buffer that you always wanted. So when a client talks to me and say, Mark, I need a solution. And the client can say, hey Mark, I want to save money. So how do we save money on those 4 solutions? Quite simply, in 2017, the federal government introduced surcharge laws into our country. Who understands what they mean? That's okay. That's fine. No disrespect to anyone in the room. The law, which I'm going to be, understand fully, is that thing. So I have to be accredited by law to deal in the products I'm dealing in and to associate with surcharge laws. The law basically states in a couple of words. The law states that you're able to pass back to your client the cost of doing business for that transaction. So in other words, if you've got an FPOS terminal, you may be charged 2% by your bank for that transaction. But where you've got to be very, very careful is that the law states you can only pass on the lowest cost denominator. So I won't go in, that's another whole, I can talk another hour about that alone. So all I'm saying quite simply is this, is that if you're in a business and you're thinking, well, I am paying 20 grand, I didn't know there was a better way. I'm telling you there is a better way. Because as our profit margins reduce and our costs increase, what are you going to do when that flow continues that way? People say to me, Mark, if I pass on a surcharge to my clients, I'm going to lose clients. Maybe you will. But if that flow continues, what are you going to do in that situation? It may be a case where you get to the stage where you don't have a business anymore. So at the end of the day, we're here to earn a profit in our business, not to return a loss. So this is a way of giving you that sort of impetus back. So what I thought I would do is that, in essence, is what I do. So I'm in the payments, and just like Ish said before, in my world there are no dumb questions. So if you're thinking, well, is there a better way? Can I save money? Because as an example being, yesterday I had a franchise owner called me from Perth who's got 6 stores, I think, around the country. He was on the brink of closing his business. He was going to, next was to start that process before talking to me. Luckily, I've given him something to think about, and I can save him, in essence, about $100,000 a year between his 6 businesses. So that's going to enable him to keep his stores open. It's going to enable him to retain his staff, because he didn't want to lose his staff. He's had them for over 10 years. Anyone in business knows is to retain and attract a staff member is a very, very expensive business process. So I just thought I would just open the floor to any questions that anyone may have.
With the surcharge,
Yes.
my biggest issue with the surcharge, my customers pay surcharge. So I